Oh, different day again today. The van is saying it is -6, but it's a Vauxhall, so I would take that with a pinch of salt. Probably -2 maybe at worst. But anyway, I'm heading down South Cumbria to go and have a look at this 6-ton digger. So we'll have to see how we get on with that, because at the moment I've got a couple of ideas, but other than that we'll just have to wait and see what we find. So I'll see you down there. The auto idle isn't working, and I've opened this plug up down under the cab and all my pins are green, so I'm going to have a look at that. Right, so I've been at this digger now for, I've been here since 9:10, and yeah, when you work in the machine it was really sort of bogging down about 400 RPM, as though it was wanting to stall out, and the customers had a good go at it himself before I arrived. He was on the phone to us yesterday trying bits and bobs. We've sort of cut out the whole fuel system here and just ran it through an inline filter straight onto the injection pump through the electric lift pump, and the fault was still there, so we know it wasn't fuel related. So when I got here I had a feel of it, and it felt as though the pumps were kind of overloading the engine, so I've been in at this pump making adjustments in here with no success really. And yeah, I just sort of messaged a mate of mine that I've sort of known from a few Doosan training courses, and he said go and have a look at this plug down here. Now I've done a lot with that plug for all sorts of weird and wonderful faults, sort of engine overheating when the engine hasn't been started, fuel level not working, all sorts. But I had it in my head that there was sort of the horsepower valve was misbehaving on the pump. Anyway, you've seen how green and manky those pins were, and to be fair, the auto idle wasn't working on the machine. So I thought, well, it's worth a look. If anything, it'll sort the auto idle fault out. Anyway, I can't believe it. I've just put some contact cleaner on it, cleaned the pins up, and yeah, the machine is good as gold. I've had some comings and goings with that plug, but I've never had that effect on the machine. Anyway, every day is a school day. It's lunchtime and I've just come away from that job. I could not believe it when I started that machine and ran it. It was like a different machine, brand new. So yeah, shout out to Sean. I know he watches the videos, so sound job. Goes to show you, doesn't it? You can sit in a classroom all week and learn about hydraulic systems and electrical systems on these new machines, and you know, it gives you a foundation of what you're going to when you are out in the field. But another great thing about the training courses in the classrooms with other people, the like-minded people that are doing the same job, working on the same product as you, is you sort of get chatting to them and get to know them, and you know, you get their number and they get yours, and you know, it's a two-way street. Anyway, shout out to the weather as well. It has been absolutely glorious today. I'm gonna head back to the workshop now. 22 degrees as well today, apparently. I'm sure it's not 22. It's all unraveling now. So I got back to the yard, had a phone call. There's a little 1-ton dumper that's away on a wagon tomorrow, and it wouldn't start. That came from the trade-in, so that was to get running. I used my van to jump start it and put my bonnet down, and the bonnet catch wasn't working. And then I've had the salesman on as our DX300 demonstrate as a way to a quarry this afternoon for a demonstration tomorrow, and the customer wants the controls changed from what we call ISO to backhoe loader. So if you're a driver and you've driven a backhoe loader, you'll know what I mean. Second-hand LCR going out onto site tomorrow lunchtime, and that wants a set of Vandal guards fitted to it, and then a load and shovel to service tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, this afternoon's just turned into phone calls, and here's another one now. Right, I'll see you when I get there. Right, I finally made it to me demonstrate. I'm just about to swap these pipes over, and when I've done that, I'll give you a look over a brand new -7 DX300. Right, so what I've done is I've made this machine impossible for me to drive now. So what you're used to is your right hand working the dipper arm in and out, and your left hand working the boom up and down. And we've swapped that now, and I've just moved the machine, and when you're just used to jumping in the machine and going, it really baffles you. But to do that, all I've had to do is swap that pipe with the bottom pipe and that pipe with that pipe, so they're swapped over now. Just gives the gives the customer a fair evaluation because it's what he's used to. So yeah, he's gonna have a go at it tomorrow. So I'll show you what it's like inside these new cabs. So we've got a nice big comfy leather seat. These have got, I think it's about 1.5 inches more padding than the previous seats, which in fairness, once the seats had been sat in for a while, they did sort of lose the comfort, some people complained about. Into the cab, nice and tidy. We've got 2 screens and I'll show you them. Push button to start, just turn that radio off. Once it's finished squawking at me. So this is a smart key now, so there's nowhere to put your ignition key. Normally that would be there. It is an option to have it instead. We'll start it up. So this is a cool bit. This is your 360 camera. So at the moment it's a bird's eye view of the digger, and as you can see right the way around the machine, the side of my van, things like that. You can change the perspective to as though you're playing in a computer game, or you can just have it in your blind spots and so on. So that's quite handy. Another thing that's a nice function is, see this little joystick button up here in the top right? That's your magic button or your spare button. So in a lot of machines this button didn't do anything, whereas in this machine you can assign it to turning the radio on and off, answering phone calls because it's got Bluetooth radio, DAB radio, or in this case it's set up to wipe the windscreen once, which is a nice feature. But yeah, this is all touch screen. Go into maintenance here, expendables management. So this is where all your oil and filter information is. So obviously fuel filter will need changed at 500 hours, things like that. You can go into monitoring, look at the pump pressures. It's all very, very nicely laid out. Machine configuration, you can set your joystick up. That's your one touch, so wiper and audio mute. and set your thumb wheel up to whichever speed you want, slow, normal and fast. But yeah, that's a brief look at the new Dash 7 from in the cab. So the way your 360 camera works, you've got a camera here, camera on the diesel tank, camera behind the cab and camera on the counterweight, and it merges them all together to give you that 360 vision, which I think is a cracking idea. But yeah, it's got presence here anyway. It is an absolute beast. Oh, this is testing my patience. Should have just been an hour and a half, 2 hours just putting these Vandal guards on this digger. It needs to be on site today and the customer won't have it on site without the Vandal guards on. The Vandal guards that have arrived are for LCR-5. This is an LCR-3. So evidently they have changed the cab from the Dash 5 to the Dash 3. Now I didn't order this, so I'm not taking any responsibility, but I've got to adjust all these brackets and make it fit. It's an hour and a half's job. It's 10 o'clock now, and yeah, should have been finished now, packing the van and going up to this service on the landfill site. Right, it is just after 12 o'clock and I've managed to get it together. I've had to adjust this bracket here to make that fit. Oh! Had to make that bracket on the roof to carry them, and yeah, adjust that bracket too to hold the back one. What a performance. I should have been halfway through that load and shovel service now, so it's a bit of a carry on. Never mind. Don't believe it, I've missed my 150,000 mile birthday. At this old 350 service, this one's got a quick hitch on it, so you can put pallet forks on it and other bits and pieces. Yeah, this is a 350-5. It's quite an early one as well. It's still got a Scania engine in it, but it's just a 5-cylinder. Yeah, 2015 it is. So it's AdBlue, Scania engine, and yeah, like I was telling you the other day about the visibility, how it's improved with the new ones. You can see on the new one that we were at the other day, this is all glass in here. and I'll jump up in the cab and show you what it's like up there. This is what it looks like from the cab. Visibility isn't awful, but it feels a lot smaller of a cab. And yeah, the air conditioning box is behind this seat here. As we saw in the last video, it's now mounted outside, so to speak. But yeah, this machine's done 9,500 hours now, so it's done a pretty good shift. This one goes up onto the landfill site and sort of covers it over basically, and any wagons up there that get stuck, it's got a big chain on the back to pull it out, so not the nicest. It's not the nicest of spots to come to, but you come across all sorts when you take the belly plates off, grease the drive shafts. Yeah, anything that you put in the bin has the potential to end up in there. Delightful. Anyway, right, I'm going to call it a day. Tomorrow, not 100% sure what I've got to do tomorrow. There's one or two bits and pieces I've got in mind, but we'll just see if the machines are available. They're just passing jobs, so no great panic with them. Friday afternoon, I've got another 420-7 to service in a sand quarry, so we'll go and get that done. And yeah, not looking too bad, just nice and steady. Just had a message off the boss as well to say the new van should be here by the end of the month. Spot on. So there's something to look forward to. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If there's anything that you'd like to see in any future videos, or anything you want us to go into in more detail, leave it down in the comments and I'll do my best to try and do that. And yeah, thanks again for watching. See you tomorrow.